Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Figure I'd do a quick update while I'm running out to grab a hot chocolate, because that's what I do. And I got a little bit, I was like, you know what? You guys are having, well, at least in Illinois, having some awful weather. So I figured I'd give you a little mountain view back there. That is Daisy Mountain. It looks a lot smaller in the video than it really is. It's not huge by any means, but it's big. But figure give you some little bit of Arizona view. We also got the, I don't know if I can show it to you, little cactus right there, a little saguaro. So it is 62 degrees. I'm in full sweatshirt and pants and sweatpants. Sorry, my eye keeps watering. I think it's allergies. We're supposed to be about 75 today, so all you people that live in that yucky weather, I still don't know why. I will never understand it, because we get about 7 to 8 months of this beautiful type of weather. So yes, we get hot months, but I think everyone always thinks it's always hot here. But the summer is hard to get through, no doubt, but I'd rather be walking out with flip-flops on than having to bundle up and drive in snow. So anyway, my two thoughts. So I was gonna just do a quick update from this last week. I figured I was gonna maybe do it yesterday, because I did go for my 9th chemo yesterday. But I figured I would just keep it on Thursday, and then I can wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. So here I am. Let's see, last Thursday was number 8. Pretty uneventful. I did get more sleep that night. Like I usually have a hard time sleeping after the steroid, but I did get more sleep. I think between 4 to 5 hours, which, I would take it. I didn't write anything down this week. I was kind of lazy, so I'm just doing everything by memory. And then Friday, I felt good. I felt good Friday, usually the day after I feel good. And then Saturday, I had a little bit of my fatigue creep in, but overall not too bad. Oh, and my blood work all came back fine. My white blood cells are still holding normal. My liver enzymes are normal. My magnesium last Friday when I got that back was at 1.4, and 1.5 to like 5, I believe, is normal. So since I was just under, they didn't seem to think I needed any kind of infusion or anything. So so that was cool. I didn't have to go back for that. But that, I'm trying to think, so I got those results Friday morning. So Friday I felt pretty good. Saturday I had fatigue, but not like it had been. Again, it was like I could work with it. We did go out to dinner Friday and Saturday night, but like we stuck more quiet, I guess, quiet places. I didn't want my roid rage to kick in at anywhere that I knew that I might get frustrated with people. So I was pretty good about that. You're welcome, Keith. And then Sunday is when the fatigue hit me. Oh, sorry. I don't have my glasses on. I thought there was a car like right behind me. Sunday it hit me really, really hard. Like it was weird. So it was 3 days later than I normally do. Usually it's Saturday, but I still got up and ran some errands. We still went to our breakfast. But then by afternoon I was spent. I couldn't do much. My head was so brain fog and just so tired. So sorry, the sun's still coming up here. So brain fog, so fatigued. So anyway, we just stayed in Sunday night. My gosh, that sun is really bright. Let's see if I can turn this little, nope, then it's gonna be on me. So yeah, just stayed in. We watched some TV shows and stuff like that. That's about all I could do at that point. I had no energy. So I rested when I needed to rest. Monday I started feeling better Monday. But I did notice Monday, Tuesday, and no, not yesterday. Monday and Tuesday, I was a little tired than normal, but nothing unbearable. Like I could still do things. I worked, and So I ended up going on Tuesday. I had called them Monday, my oncologist office, and asked them if I can come in Tuesday to get my blood drawn, because they are closed Thursday and Friday this week. So my infusion was moved to Wednesday since they're closed Thursday. So I went a day sooner this week. I had called them on Monday because they usually just do my blood right before my infusion, and then I get my CBC panel with like my white blood cell count and everything. I get that within 5 minutes after they draw it there. But the comprehensive, and then they have to test for magnesium. They have to do a separate order for that. That takes 24 hours. So that usually comes in like super early in the morning the next day. Like by the time I'm awake, it's in there. But if I got it done Wednesday, I wouldn't have gotten those results until today. And if my magnesium was low, then I couldn't do anything about it, and I would maybe have to go to the ER if I needed an infusion, and I wanted to try to avoid that. So I called them Monday and asked them if I can come in, because I had physical therapy Tuesday morning. So I asked them if I can come in after physical therapy, it's in the same building, and get my blood drawn, and they were like, absolutely yes. So I went Tuesday for that. They had a hard time with my port. They couldn't get blood return on it. It wasn't being friendly. It wasn't cooperating. So they had me doing all sorts of stuff, pumping my arms, leaning over, laying back, everything, looking this way, arm up, and they still couldn't get it. So they tried some heparin to see if there was like a little, not a bad blood clot that's going to kill me, but something like a little blood thing that would maybe be covering it in the inside. So we tried heparin, had to wait there for a little bit, still didn't work. They got a little bit of pink flashback is what they call it. But they couldn't get the blood drawn. So I had two options. It was either do it through my arm, the old school way, which I'm fine with. But they've been having a hard time with like IVs and stuff like that in my arm over the last year in general. So it was either that, or they could try, I think it's called TPA. It's basically like they said heparin on steroids, but then you have to sit there for like 30 minutes to an hour to have it work. And I had to get, I know my work understands, but I needed to get back to work and stuff. So I was like, you know what, just try it out of my arm really quick. Let's see if we can get this done. So they did my arm, couldn't get blood out at first. So that took a little bit longer. It took me like 45 minutes just to get blood drawn. But she called another nurse over and basically just used her eyes, and she's like, I've got it in the vein. And so the nurse was like, okay, try from her angle. She's like, try moving it up, and basically they finally got it. Thank God. So then that nurse told me, if they have this issue tomorrow, just tell them that she's like, all we need to do tomorrow for infusion is get some of that pink flashback and we can still proceed. If we don't get that at all, then they have to do that TPA. So she told me to, let them know in case it wasn't her, that like what worked to get some flashback, because by leaning forward and basically like you're tying your shoes or playing the piano or something. So anyway, got my blood results. She put a stat on it, so I got them back late, or not late. Yeah, I guess it was probably about 6 p.m. that night for the magnesium, and it was low again. It was down to 1.2. So I'm glad I went in early to get that figured out. So for infusion, so I went for infusion yesterday. Oh, and Tuesday night, Kyle came home from college. For those of you who might have seen that on my Facebook, but he came home for the weekend, so that was nice. So then I went to infusion yesterday. Kyle took me to my infusion. Got there, they tried sticking the IV in my port. Couldn't get any flashback. Did all the things, could not get any flashback. So they had to do the TPA. So I had to sit there. It only took about 30 minutes, and then they tried it and they were able to get blood coming out. So then we were scheduled to go. And then they also added 2 bags of magnesium, which I was thankful for, because I didn't want to go this 4-day weekend, and being low on magnesium, because I do feel the effects of it, especially in my hands and just the tiredness overall. So it was going to be a longer infusion. So the TPA took 30 minutes. Well, they gave me my pre-meds, and they did the TPA, which is the blood thinner. I had to sit there for 30 minutes. They got the blood. Then they did my immunotherapy, which is the Herceptin. And that is, again, what targets the HER2 positive protein, if there is any. So they did my Herceptin. Now they can't do magnesium at the same time as Herceptin because they can't be mixed, they're not compatible. So I just don't think they've had enough studies, so they won't do it. So I got my Herceptin, that takes 30 minutes, which I probably said already. And then they did my chemo. Now I can do magnesium with chemo. So chemo takes an hour. I get 2 bags of magnesium, each takes an hour. So they did my chemo and my first bag of magnesium together. And then after that was done, they did my second bag of magnesium. So I was there about 1.5 to 2 hours longer than normal. But to me, it's better than having to go back on another day. So it looks like they scheduled me to come in again on next Tuesday for my blood draw. So I think going forward, they're going to start doing it 2 days ahead of time. So then they can just do it all together if I need magnesium on the day of my infusion, which is great. Because then I don't have to leave work again on Friday to go in, because it takes like 3 hours at least. So I wouldn't have to leave work. So I think we're going that route. And I mean, yesterday, I'll update. Well, I guess I already kind of updated yesterday. So, so yesterday was number 9. So I only have 3 left out of 12. So excited. I will be so happy to be done with chemo. The immunotherapy doesn't really cause, that I know of, many symptoms. I hear the immunotherapy alone, I will be getting that. So after my last chemo, I will go back the next week. It is a higher dose of immunotherapy. It goes from like 150 to like 400 milligrams, but that's because it lasts me for 3 weeks. And the one I'm on currently, I get weekly. So, so I will go the week after my last chemo. I will get the new 400 that week, and then I'll just go every 3 weeks until September. But I hear it's like you don't really notice anything. I don't know if it's the chemo or the immunotherapy that gives me the acne, but that has calmed down. I don't know if my body's getting used to it. And I have some, I saw a dermatologist, so I have some, creams and all this stuff that I use now. So hopefully I'll keep that at bay. And if it's every 3 weeks, it's usually only for like a couple days after, and then it tapers down. So we'll deal with that when we come to it. My scalp is much better. It's not itching anymore. I think the steroid that I get with my chemo and the Benadryl has really helped that, because last week it tamed it down, and now it has stopped. It itched a little, but not like it was that weekend before. Not this past weekend, the weekend before. It was so itchy and it was driving me nuts, and then it would hurt when I'd lay on it, and I'm not having that anymore. So I think the steroid and the Benadryl is helping with that. The doctor did give me another steroid pack in case it started acting up again, but I haven't had to take it. So I'm happy about that. So it kind of seems like when I get these new symptoms, or side effects, they kind of last for like maybe a week. And then it's like, I don't know if my body gets used to it or what, or I just figure out a way to work with it and whatever. I don't know. So hopefully I'm in the home stretch. I'm so excited to only have 3 left. I will go back to Thursdays next week. So basically, I'll have 1 extra day in between, which is maybe, kind of nice. This past week I had 1 less day, so hopefully it doesn't cause anything, but if it does, it does. I'll just deal with it with a smile like I always do, or like I try to. But yeah, I'm trying to think. And then we went to, we did our trivia last night. Keith came back from Flagstaff yesterday, obviously to be here for Thanksgiving. So he was only up there Monday till Wednesday. He normally goes Tuesday to Thursday. So he was able to go to trivia, which was great. And we took 2nd place. We had so much fun. It was so crowded because of the night before Thanksgiving. So there's a lot more teams there. And we hung out until about, I want to say 10:30. I was actually proud of myself, but I was super tired. So, by that time, I should say. So we came home and I went to bed, and I got probably maybe a little over 5 hours of sleep, which I will take as a win for a night of chemo infusion. So anyway, we are going to our friend Chris and Renee's for Thanksgiving dinner. They were kind enough to host it because they know what I'm going through. So they didn't want me to have to worry about making any big dinner and stuff like that. So, we'll make a couple little sides and bring those over. So that should be a fun, relaxing night. Have both my kids here, and I think that's about it. If there's anything else, I'll just tell you next week, I guess. I hope everyone has a fantastic, fantastic Thanksgiving with friends, with family. I've got friends that are going on a cruise. Whatever you're doing to celebrate, I hope it's amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. I have so much, and I know I say this all the time, but I do have so much support and so much love around me, and I feel it all the time. And I even have new people that I meet, you know, out at trivia and stuff like that, that are jumping on my little bandwagon or my little bus of supporters. And everyone's just so kind and thoughtful, and I get a lot of people telling me that I am an inspiration and my positivity shines through, and that is my goal, because that is literally the only way you can get through something like this. I know not everyone can, and that's okay, because everyone's story is their own. I've always been a very happy, positive person, and I was worried going through this that would change it, and it has not. Now I know there are a lot more harder chemos out there, so I'm very, very thankful for the one that I am getting. I know it could be so much worse, and I see what some people go through at my infusion center, and I feel so bad for them. And I don't want to say like I'm happy for myself, but I am thankful. Like I can see where I should be thankful for a lot of things, and I am. And yes, I mean, what I'm going through is not easy, just all around, but it could be much worse. And I always try to remember that. And God forbid if it, you know, ever is worse in the future, we'll have to tackle that at that time. But I don't feel that. I feel like I'm good, and I'm gonna be good, and we'll see. But anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on now. But thank you all. I love you all so much. I truly hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. If you have 4 days off, great 4 days off. For my people back at home, good luck with that weather this weekend. I'll be thinking of you, especially today when it's 75 out. Again, move out here. It's common sense. Anyway, love you guys. Have a great one. Bye.